Let's do this. It's the best football show. I'm Brian Baldinger. Thanks for joining me. You can, by the way, you can download and watch this app daily. We tape it daily on your free Odyssey app. Okay, like it, subscribe to it. You can follow me throughout social media, all the platforms at Baldy NFL. Consistent. You see it on the bottom right there. All I do, honestly, in this podcast is I study film here wherever I'm at, but I'm at NFL Films right now up on the third floor. And I just watch games and study players and study schemes. And I basically kind of just tell you what I see. And so I want to start off today by talking about the build-up to one of the great games this year. And there's been a lot of great games. But Detroit, Minnesota at Detroit on Sunday night. 2 14-2 teams vying for the number 1 seed. The loser becomes the number 5 seed. It's almost unbelievable that you could be 14-3 and be a 5 seed, but that's how it works. They know that. There's a lot to play for. And I went back and watched the Week 7 game, Minnesota and Detroit. It was a great game. Detroit won on a final, field goal drive, 31-29. Minnesota, though, attacked the coverages or the protections of Detroit. Got home with just rushing 4. Alex Van Ginkel, Jonathan Grenard. These guys had good games. It was a really, really good game. And Detroit was much healthier on defense then than they are now. When I watch Minnesota, they just look like a complete team. I don't think they're the best team in the postseason, but I think they're a very balanced team. They protect Sam Darnold very well. Aaron Jones and the running backs are excellent in pass protection and blitz pickup. Their 2 receivers, actually, there are 3 receivers. When you talk about Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, Jalen Naylor, you want to spend a lot of time and a lot of attention on Justin Jefferson. He's willing to give you that. But Addison and Naylor are both capable of beating you. You got to factor in TJ Hawkinson, who's just gotten healthier and healthier. Still doesn't have a touchdown catch. I might be wrong about that, but I don't think he has a touchdown catch. But Detroit, for all their issues on defense that basically come from, just guys getting hurt, and they've lost a lot of guys. This offense can score the best of them. He scored 64 touchdowns. 64 touchdowns in 16 games. So it's 4 touchdowns a game that they have scored on average, not to mention the field goals, safeties, everything else. Defensive touchdowns. Kirby Joseph, one of his 9 interceptions was against Green Bay. He took over for Brian Branch when he got hurt. He came to strong safety, intercepted. Jordan Love, went back for a touchdown. Going to be a great game. We're lucky. We're fortunate. You stick around till Sunday night, get to see a great game. The winner is the NFC North champion in the best division in football. Obviously, Green Bay also going to the playoffs. Best division in football, the winner gets to 15-2, number 1 seed. It goes through either Ford Field or it goes through, U.S. Bank Stadium. Dome stadiums, hard to play. Decibels will be way up. But anyways, that's what I say. Detroit, offensively, as we saw against San Francisco on Monday night, they can score from anywhere on the field. You want to hook and lateral to Jameson Williams for 42 yards, they'll do it. You want to get Jahmyr Gibbs around the corner, he'll go 30 yards and scoot. You won't get a hand on him. Either one of those guys can score from anywhere on the field. So they're capable of putting up 30 or more against anybody in this postseason. So it should be a fun finish. So I'm watching Tampa last week, and Baker Mayfield throwing 5 touchdown passes. It's unbelievable. 2 of them, the first 2, were to Mike Evans. And there's an immediate connection, and it has been, between Baker and Evans. This 6th year now that Mike Evans has gone double-digit touchdowns. Last year he led the league in touchdowns with 13. He might get that. They got to win this week to get to the playoffs. He missed a couple games early in the middle of the season with the hamstring pull, but he looks fresh right now. And, like the graphics say, he's chasing Jerry Rice's record. He needs 85 yards. Baker wants him to get him the record. There's no question about it. And they need to win the game. So I think he's going to get fed. I think he's going to get the record. But honestly, Jerry Rice didn't get 1,000 yards receiving his first 11 years. He did it after his rookie year. Mike Evans put up 1,000 every year. And we know the quarterback situation that they've had for a number of those years. It hasn't been very good. He's just that good. In the red zone, he's they go to the postseason. If they go and they take care of business this weekend, nobody wants to see Mike. No corner in this league wants to see Mike Evans on the 5-yard line or the 1-yard line isolated against him? Nobody. I mean, that guy can beat anybody. He's strong. He's long. He times his jumps well. He catches the ball with his hands. You want to put it on the rim. You want to put it down on the curb. Anywhere you want to go, he's going to go get it. So, anyways, I'm pulling for Mike Evans. That guy's been the man of the year candidate in Tampa a couple different times. He's a fantastic person in the community. I hope Mike Evans adds to his totals. I hope he gets to tie Jerry Rice's in this record right here. Speaking of records, let's move on here to Saquon, because I talked to Saquon a couple weeks ago, and honestly, he wants to get the record. He wanted 2,000, and he wanted Eric Dickerson's record. And I don't blame him. I mean, running backs, look, the Giants, they weren't willing to give him a long-term contract. A lot of these running backs, that we're seeing a resurgence with Henry and Jacobs and Aaron Jones now. It worked out in free agency for all those guys. But, they've taken a hit in free agency and that guaranteed contract that running backs all want. And Saquon kind of wants to say, screw that. Like, Giants didn't want to, they wanted to take care of the quarterback, fine. They didn't want to do that to me. I'm going to show everybody. This is what we're capable of doing. I kind of wish the Eagles would play. But I get it. The Eagles are not going to play their starters. And I get it. They had a week 5 bye. They've played 12 straight weeks, counting this week against the Giants. So, and I've talked to guys on their team, rest up, take the week off, get ready for the next opponent. We'll know Sunday night who they're going to play. They can actually, if they rest everybody or a majority of their guys, they could literally get an extra day of practice in after the rest, And so getting ready for their first opponent, whether it's Saturday, Sunday, or Monday night, we'll know. But I kind of think Saquon would love to get it. I played with Eric Dickerson in Indianapolis after he had the record. He won the AFC rushing title in 1988, and I was playing with him. And that record's important to him. And honestly, guys like Lane Johnson, who's building a certifiable Hall of Fame, resume right now, it'd be a nice feather in his cap to go, I blocked for Saquon when he broke Eric Dickerson's record in fewer attempts than Eric did. That'd be good. But I think, winning a second Super Bowl for Lane would also help cement his bust in Canton, Ohio one day. But I do think that resting the players and getting really healthy and focused and all that and getting ready for whoever they might see week 1 is important. But I think they'll take care of business in doing that. Everybody just sort of assumes that Denver playing Kansas City at home this weekend is an automatic W and a pathway to the playoffs. And honestly, they're heavy favorites. We know Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes, Chris Jones. We know they're not going to play. But I would say this, and I would caution anybody that just wants to give Denver the win. Look out for Carson Wentz. Just a couple things about Carson. He came in same year, 2016, with Jared Goff. Jared Goff is playing at an elite level in his second team. Carson moved on and has not played well, was out of the league. But last year, he caught on with the Rams. And he got to be coached by Sean McVay and the guys there. And he got to see how you mold a quarterback. And he got to be around Matt Stafford. And this year, he's in Kansas City with Andy Reid, who is a quarterback whisperer. And he's seen Mahomes work. And he's going to get another chance to play on Sunday. He played great against San Francisco week 18 last year. In fact, he was throwing to Bryson Hopkins and Tyler Johnson, a bunch of guys that I don't know if people knew who they were. But he played well, ran 16 times in that game. A bunch of 3rd and 1s, 4th and 1s converted, ran for a 12-yard touchdown. Carson Wentz is a cyborg. He wants to knock Denver out of the playoffs. Maybe, I don't know, Miami takes care of business against the Jets and they get in. Maybe other teams lose and Cincinnati gets in. But Carson Wentz doesn't care about any of that. Carson Wentz wants an opportunity to do what Baker Mayfield is doing, what Sam Darnold is doing, what Jared Goff is doing. He wants that opportunity. And When you're around Sean McVay and Andy Reid, your quarterback IQ goes up. And I think there's something to be said for watching Carson against Denver. It's a 4:25 game, East Coast time. I'm doing the Jets in Miami. We're going to be scoreboard watching in that game. We'll know a lot about Cincinnati's chances on Saturday night against Pittsburgh. The last topic I wanted to hit today was really the Rookie of the Year contest. And it's really between two players, Jaden Daniels and Brock Bowers. And in any given year, either one of those guys would be a unanimous choice to be the Rookie of the Year. You think about Brock Bowers. Like, I think Jaden Daniels is going to get the award, and he's going to earn it. He's just been that good, taking care of the football. A moribund franchise gets turned around with a new coach, new owner, new way of doing things, new players. But he's been the key. He's been the consistent key. Last week against Atlanta, like, he leads the team in rushing. He runs 42 yards in overtime, all right, to take the team down for the game-winning drive. He's been outstanding, and I think he's going to win the award. But when you look at Brock Bowers, you think about three different quarterbacks: Minshew, O'Donnell, Aiden O'Connell, along with Des Ridder. He's played with three basically backup quarterbacks. He's got 108 catches. 108 catches right now. The guy beats man coverage. I see him against Trent McDuffie. I see him against Patrick Surtain. I see him against good safeties. I see him reading defenses on the fly on his release to beat bracket coverage, zone coverages, knows when to choke it down, when to run through it. I see him line up everywhere, all over the field. He's been outrageous. I mean, and you think about this. He broke the rookie tight end receiving record held by Mike Ditka in 1961. The record has stood that long. I think 1960 or whatever it was. But it was 61 catches. He's got 108 from three quarterbacks that none of us think are true, marksmen at that position. It's just remarkable how he gets open and what he does after the catch. And the only thing quicker than his hands are his eyes. He sees the ball and the flight of the ball so fast. And that's why he's able to adjust his body to the ball and get in position to catch it. So I think the MVP comes down to Daniels and Bowers. And Bowers is going to get some votes. There's no question. But Jaden Daniels has been outstanding. They had a chance to beat the Cowboys this week to get to 12 wins. It's been an incredible turnaround. They're going to the postseason. They've earned the right to go to the postseason. All right. Anyways, that's been the best football show. I'll come back tomorrow, talk about more. Pro Bowl voting came out. There's some real questionable decisions. Real questionable. It happens every year. But some of these absentees to the Pro Bowl is a joke to me. And it's just not good. It's not good for the league. I don't think it's good for the people that have earned it and didn't get it. I understand it's a popularity contest, but I like to see it. I like to see people vote that actually know what the hell they're talking about before they elect certain players based on past performances or name recognition, because it's not fair to the players that balled out this year. And I'll tack it tomorrow right here on the Best Football Show.